Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire-Grimes. Director Denis Villeneuve has created another out-of-this-world cinematic experience as he continues to expand on Frank Herbert's Dune with Dune Part 2. You must see this on the biggest screen possible when it opens March 1st, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Dune Part 2 picks up right where the first one left off. We're introduced to Florence Pugh's character, Princess Irulan, narrating the events of what happened. The power over the spice means power over all the people. The Harkonnens took over Arrakis, destroying the House of Atreides. It's believed that Paul Atreides, who's played by Timothee Chalamet, is dead. But the Emperor, who's played by Christopher Walken, and Baron Harkonnen, who's played by Stellan Skarsgård, don't realize that he's alive and hiding within the Fremen community. Now, word starts to spread that Paul may be a messiah, or he's living as a false prophet. Paul's destiny has grave impacts on his mother, the Lady Jessica, who's played by Rebecca Ferguson, his budding relationship with his new friend Chani, who's played by Zendaya, and just the future of the planet. Now, it's helpful going into Part 2 knowing that Denis Villeneuve is hard at work at making this a trilogy. Part 2 clocks in at 2 hours and 40 minutes and certainly acts as the middle film of a trilogy, especially when you compare it to the storytelling of The Two Towers or The Empire Strikes Back. Villeneuve hits the ground running with a thrilling attack against the Fremen community, with Paul and Chani joining forces for this really stealth combat over the kind of the lumbering Harkonnen. It sets the stage, catapulting audiences into just a visual feast of lush filmmaking with the desert sun, the heat, and just the orange hues really jolting off the screen. Villeneuve crafts such thrilling action sequences with how he works with cinematographer Greg Fraser, who did win the Oscar for his work on the first film. Villeneuve builds the trust that needed to then settle into the quieter, emotional-driven character scenes. He expands on these two communities and the stark differences in culture and technology when it comes to the Fremens versus the Harkons and just the war between these two communities. Even within the world of Arrakis, there seems to be difference of opinions, culture, and just deep-seated beliefs that really shape Paul's destiny. Timothee Chalamet and Zendaya have rich scenes together as we watch Paul and Chani explore their relationship and the complexities within that. Dune Part 2 builds on Paul being this potential messiah, but then also introduces us to the other side of that moral coin with Fade Routha, Austin Butler's character, who acts as just this psychotic devil in the making. Butler does stunning work at making Fade this terrifying monster that he is. And he pairs well next to Dave Bautista, who's just this absolutely angry beast as another Harkonnen. Denis Villeneuve and his entire production team have created distinct, lived-in worlds, bringing Frank Herbert's novel to life with just their gorgeous costumes and set pieces. Rarely do we see sci-fi epics like this that feel so real and tangible in the age of CGI filmmaking. Dune Part 2 is a thrilling, edge-of-your-seat epic with high stakes, breathtaking filmmaking, and just lasting visuals that are all just enhanced by another just mind-boggling Hans Zimmer score that just deepens its emotional core. I'm giving Dune Part 2 4.5 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have some other movie reviews and some celebrity interviews. And don't forget, I actually got to interview the cast of Dune back when the first Dune came out a few years ago. So check back at those legacy interviews with the cast of Dune and Denis Villeneuve. Such a treat to talk to them back then. Paul's trip to the movies is brought to you by Imagine Theaters. Like I said, you'll want to go see Dune Part 2 in theaters. You can go see it in 70mm at their Willow Creek location, or maybe see it on one of their EMX screens at some of their other locations, or see it on the monster screen at their Lakeville location. You have to go see Dune Part 2 at Imagine Theaters. Go give them some support. And tickets are on sale for my movie series, Paul McGuire-Grimes Presents. Coming up February 25th, I'll be showing Stanley Kubrick's classic Doctor Strangelove. On March 24th, it's Good Will Hunting. Get tickets today. I do a discussion after every one of these screenings. So come see me, come see these movies back up on the big screen, and let's talk about them afterwards. Thank you so much for watching my review of Dune Part 2. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.